I was thinking, instead of Tuesdays, I upload videos for weekly videos, I'll do it every day. That way, because I will be having appointments back to back every day, so I think it would be a lot easier just to upload them every day. Now, I want to go over a little backstory with Dustin and I. We started talking in December of 2008, then officially met April of 2009, and we hit it off. We did have our bumpy road, a long road ahead of us, but as you can tell, we made it through. In 2009, sometime in that time, like in that year, I was starting to experience the PCOS symptoms, but I didn't know. I had no idea because I did not know what it was. I'm just trying to think. I'm so sorry. I basically did not have a cycle for about 7 to 8 months, and I went to the doctors for a couple years. They're like, well, it seems like you have it. You need to go to an OB. One of my doctors did an ultrasound on my ovaries one year, and they said that they could not find they said my left ovary was hidden. Well, that was, I think, in 2013, around that time frame. Then I would say 2011, let's go back a little bit. That's when we decided to try for kids, in 2011. 2011 passed, 2012 passed, nothing. 2013, that's when Dustin decided to join the military. He left in April, graduated boot camp, came back in August, end of August, beginning of September. We got married in September of 13. November, I packed up Booger, which is our cat, Mario, which is our older dog. I packed them up, packed up my stuff, and I flew down to Connecticut where he was at. I would say March of 14, I went to an OB. They didn't do any testing. They were just assuming I had PCOS because of what I was telling them, which it kind of made me upset because they weren't doing their job right. They did not give me the help that I needed, that I was seeking. All they did was put me on metformin, which is usually used for diabetics and women who suffer PCOS but that are insulin resistant. Let's just say I had horrible time with that. We moved September 14 to Virginia, and I went to the primary care physician, and he basically was telling me, well, you need to go see an RE, which he did refer me to go see. I went, I would say 2015 of February. That's when I officially seen my RE. She said, just based off what you're telling me, you do have the symptoms, but let's go ahead and do some more testing. Well, March came. She ordered all the labs. I went March 2nd of 2015, or March 1st, one of those days. I do not remember. I went and did the blood work. Well, March 2nd or March 3rd, I ended up in the hospital. I basically had a mini stroke. Going back to 2014, I actually had a really bad cold, and I was coughing a lot where it was a constant cough, and it was making me vomit, like just throw up and everything. I was getting sick from it. just from coughing, because it was just a constant cough. I could not stop. I do suffer from asthma, so I thought I was having an asthma attack. Well, I did the right thing and I took my inhaler. Well, in that little time frame in December where I did have the coughing fit, I actually felt something pop, but it was actually, I don't know, it was hard to explain what it was, but it was just constant pain. They checked right here. They saw it was red, so they treated me for an ear infection. Well, months later came January, February came, and I was just not getting better. It was hurting. There was something wrong, and I knew it was something wrong. Well, March 2nd or March 3rd, I suffered a mini stroke. I had a mini stroke that it made me end up in the hospital. I was cutting Dustin's hair for work so he doesn't get in trouble. I went and sat down, and within 5 minutes I just started feeling tingling from my right side all the way down. Within 10 minutes my whole right side of my body was numb. I couldn't feel anything. I was tingling. It wasn't right. So Dustin rushed me to the hospital, and the hospital sent me home. That next day I had the hospital calling me. I had Dustin's command calling us. We had his command calling us. They couldn't get a hold of us, so it's funny now, but it was scary at the time. But they sent the police to our house to tell us that I needed to go in. At that time, when that all happened, I was just scared. I was shaking. I had an anxiety attack. Everything just was not going right. So they admitted me, they admitted me to the hospital, and I was doing MRIs after blood work, after MRIs, CAT scans. It was just constant. I was being poked and prodded, and going through the CAT scan, the MRIs. And for everyone that knows me, of my friends and my families, I'm claustrophobic big time, and I do not like to go into closed spaces. So after everything happened, my wonderful, he was amazing neurologist. I still see him. I still have to see him. He comes in, he does all the tests, he makes me point to his finger, point to my nose, point to his finger, point to my nose, and different things. And he told me, well, I have a torn artery in my neck. So basically it's a dissection, which is a torn artery. I tore the artery right here, right in here, right behind my ear, and I torn that artery. And what that does is, I don't know if anyone knows, but when you have a dissection, torn artery, it basically, you have blood flow going through two different areas in your artery because it's torn. So that's what was going on. So they put me on aspirin. I had to be on aspirin from now on. I went through seeing a vascular surgeon. I apologize for barking in the background. That's just Luigi being a little butthead. But I went for the next year and a half. I went to the vascular surgeon, and I continued going to the neurologist. Do my every 6 months I went to the vascular surgeon because they would do an ultrasound on both my arteries, like both my side of my neck, just to check, make sure everything's flowing right, see if everything was okay. Well, a year passed, because they told me in 6 months I should be healed. Well, 6 months passed. That didn't happen. There was still some concern about that. Another 6 months passed. They were still weary. I continued taking my aspirin like they told me to. And in the meantime, when everything happened, when I had the dissection, I was about to start my fertility, our fertility treatment. And I had to put that on hold, which was devastating for Dustin and I, but we knew it was better for my health. Now, 6 months pass. They said, well, let's give it a couple more months. Let's get you all looked at. Well, I will tell you, let's see. On August 16th of this year, I went to the vascular surgeon. They did the ultrasound, their normal thing that they needed to do on my neck. And then that Friday, August 19th of this year, I went to my neurologist, and I got the best news that I could possibly get is I am cleared to do fertility, which is amazing. I worked and I done so much just to get to this point. Now, I'm going to hold off on my fertility for right now because, Luigi, come here. You're okay. No bark. Yeah, you're okay. I know you want kisses. Now, I am going to go to the fertility specialist on September 1st. Sorry about that. He's just a little talker. And I'm going to just explain to him what's going on, what my plan is. Well, I'm going to hold off on the fertility for right now, for probably the next like 4 or 5 months, maybe half a year, because I'm actually going to go through some surgeries coming up. I'm going through that process, and we're hoping we'll have a better outcome, so it will be able to, the surgery is so I can be able to have children in the end. It's going to better my chances and help me a lot easier with having and bearing a child. So we're fingers crossed that we do go through everything that we've been wanting to go through, and maybe hopefully soon we'll have our miracle child, but we don't mind waiting as long as it's going to help my health in the long run. So yeah, that's basically a rough summary of what we've been going through the last almost 8 years. Now, today I'm not really doing anything. I'm just actually waiting for Dustin to get home, and we're gonna probably do a little bit more housework. It's all done, but I'm saying in like backyard, take the dogs for a walk maybe. I'm gonna cook some dinner for him, and yeah, well, if you like, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and and comment on our video. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We're able to answer them and everything. So again, if you hear any noises that are loud, it's just my background noise or my pets. Again, don't mind the editing. I'm still working on that, you guys. And I will be posting a video here soon. I will see you guys tomorrow. This is our day 2 on August 23rd of 2016 video. So this is video number 2. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.